see the thumbs up.
You didn't get the thumbs up.
Good evening. Welcome to the Norfolk Conservation Commission, November 14th, 2018. The meeting is being video and audio taped for transparency and for the record. The first thing before we get going, a couple little notes. We've had some changes in personnel on the board. I would like to thank Tom Norton, who just resigned and had been the chairman the last few months, but had been an active commissioner for a couple of years, and we appreciated all the work that he had done and the trials and tribulations of working with the agenda and the conservation needs. And we have a new member. It's John Weddleton, was appointed last night. Unfortunately, John could not be here tonight, but he'll join us at the next meeting. So with that, we'll start at 7 o'clock is the Enclave. Is there anybody here from that? That's going to be continued. They've asked from the Randy Myron from Boiler Engineering. It'll be continued to January 9th, 2019 at 7 o'clock. Could I have a motion for that, to continue it?
I make a motion to continue the Enclave NOI to meeting on January 9th, 2019 at 7 a.m.
Second?
I second
PM.
it.
7 p.m. They'll be waiting a long time.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who's
Aye.
seconding that? Bruce? Bruce?
Okay, at 7:05, right on time, the Cranberry Heights. They've asked for a continuation to December 12th. Is there anybody here for Cranberry Heights? Okay, so they will be December 12th at 7 p.m. If I could get a motion for that continuation?
They'd have to be 7:05, wouldn't they? We got 7 a.m. Oh, no.
Oh, no,
that's wrong
different.
one. Yep, there we go.
I move to continue the Cranberry Heights subdivision request for determination to December 12th at 7 o'clock p.m.
Second?
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's approved unanimously? Yeah, I got mixed up with that, too. Okay, we're a few minutes early. The next thing will be 81 Park Street at 7:10. And I believe there's people here for that, so if you want to look at the September minutes, we could,
I signed them all.
hmm?
Yeah, I went through them on the email
Yeah, okay.
a couple of times to make sure.
If anybody has any,
The big thing
Changes
on
or-
that one was the MBTA line. and
yeah,
all that's in there. Made some
Yep.
changes to reflowing the water on one
Yep.
thing for one of the residents.
yeah, I saw that,
That was the
I saw the
original
minutes.
resident who had an initial,
The historical house.
correct. So they ended up reflowing it uphill because they had enough slump.
Yeah.
Or he actually was, now they actually went out, Google mapped, because the train doesn't have private property, matched up the houses, then went out in the rain,
In the rain they did it?
and where each house was going, where each drop was gonna be, made sure that there wasn't any houses, any lowland, and it was gonna be proper runoff, so.
Yeah, that's due diligence on their part.
And he had been contacting, he went outside, we hear when he went outside with everyone that had come originally.
Yes,
So he's been making contact with them over the course of time.
yeah.
And so,
Oh, that's good.
even though
Good
they have
modification.
eminent domain and
Yeah.
didn't even need to come.
Yep.
But it was good that they came and then addressed the
The concerns, yeah.
concerns along the.
Friendly neighbors. If there's no, well, I'll ask for a vote to accept the September minutes if everybody's done.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from the September 12th, 2018 meeting.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And October,
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the October 10th, 2018 meeting.
I second the motion.
have you read them? No. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, that's passed. Okay.
Maybe the Norway Farms, you guys could sign that?
Oh, yeah. Do we have to vote on that? Or has that already been, we just have to sign it?
Yeah.
Okay, Norway Farm Conservation Restriction, the forms weren't signed. This Board of Selectmen voted and signed them last night, so they're looking for our signature on it. And then that'll be done and that'll be put in place. Thank you. Okay,
Jenna?
it's 7:10. We'll open 81 Park Street. Rick? Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Hi, good evening, Rick Goodrow with United Consultants. Here tonight on behalf of the applicant, the Placido Development. The purpose we're here for this evening is to establish the wetland boundaries on the 81 Park Street property. So what we've had done is wetland boundaries were delineated by Russ Waldron from the environmental group. They've delineated the bordering vegetated wetlands, which is shown in the lighter blue here and terminates here at the stone wall coming up to the street. 150-foot and 100-foot buffer zone has been shown to that. The no disturb buffer zone area and the 100-foot jurisdictional buffer zone area to that bordering vegetated wetland. Additionally, we've shown the bank of a stream that's located to the north of the property and on the adjacent property. We've had an opportunity to review that stream with the agent for the commission, both through the USGS mapping as well as the stream stats that were provided in the application to the commission. Sorry, I'm not sure if that was me.
No.
Our understanding is that that is an intermittent stream, so therefore we have a bank to that intermittent stream. Unfortunately, it's a little lighter here, but the bank basically runs in here. It's outside of the, or inside of the area between the wetland area, the BVW, and the 100-foot buffer zone. It's contained within that area through the abutting lot, and then, as you can see, it runs through here. It's just a little light on the whiteboard here. Additionally, we've identified that there is a inland restricted wetland that basically coincides with the bordering vegetated wetland, and we've identified that wetland resource area as well. So, as I said, what we're looking for is the Conservation Commission's approval through an ANORAD/ORAD permit for the wetland boundaries for the property.
Where is the house going?
Ultimately, the house would be located in that general area. We'd be back to the commission if any work was going to be proposed within the jurisdictional areas.
Janet, any comments? Or?
No, like Rick said, it was a non-rainy day when we went out there, so that was nice. But we walked the entire line, and and that's the, you know, there was concern if the stream was intermittent or perennial, but we're going with intermittent, you know, with the stream stats and that. So the stream is within the buffer zone, so the bordering vegetated wetland. So the closest line is the bordering vegetated wetland, so that's what we're going with, because that's the closest resource area to where they may be working. So we were good with that line.
So you're good with the boundaries?
Hmm?
You're good with the boundaries?
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Anybody in the audience? And you received your ANRAD number tonight, this afternoon?
This afternoon from DEP, yes, we were issued a file number. Thank Janet for harassing them. And I'm sure it was so we wouldn't have to come back in a month and
Sure.
just have that business item.
It's
to
only a
clean up.
number, right?
It's only a number, yes.
Do you have a question?
Oh, I'm sorry. State your name, please.
Good evening. Michael, the manager, 79 Park Street. I'm right on the other side of the
Oh,
property
okay.
right there. My question is that that stream runs through my property all year long, and the land where 81 Park Street, I would believe you would be building, is extremely sloped. So I wanted to know, have you done if you're going to build there, what would be the impact of having to dig to level out that property or that surface?
We haven't done anything yet, other than just trying to get the wetlands boundaries established. Soil testing will be done for a septic system, as well as, for a foundation, proposed foundation. That'll be done in the future, and that, again, would be done outside of the jurisdictional areas. The first step is to just get the confirmation of the wetland boundaries before we move forward with anything.
So
I don't know if that
depending
answers.
on where the house is going to go, once they get the house plans, then that will come in front of the commission. And at that point, what you were just talking about and the questions you had, definitely come back and we reiterate those again with what type of
Erosion.
protections they'll do when they're building. That will all be in their NOI, so you'll have a point then. So this isn't just the end, and this is just a start to get the delineation of where actually the wetland is.
If I can just make a point, Jim. Because you've got the resource area there, and then if you could, Rich, just point with a, Rick, I'm sorry, the 100-foot, is the red the 100-foot?
Yeah, the
Right.
50 and then the 100, yes.
So the red line, so if they stay on this side of the red line, they're outside of our jurisdiction, and they won't have to come back to conservation. But if they go into those areas, then we gotta talk again.
But I agree, if there's gonna be development on that site and excavation with those slopes and the proximity to the wetland, it's gonna make sense to have some erosion controls in place.
Any other questions or comments? So, we'll close this hearing? Is that,
What do you,
Janet?
Yeah, and I have it.
And then we vote on or just close the hearing and sign the ANRAD?
Well, because you want to vote for this one here.
Okay.
If everybody agrees that it's accurate for the bordering vegetated wetland.
So it's, the Conservation Commission has determined the following. The boundaries described on the reference plans and above in the abbreviated area, bordering vegetated wetlands is what the order of delineation will be. Okay? So I'll take a motion to accept,
To issue that?
to issue this order of the ANRAD. You have to,
so make a motion to accept the boundaries described in the reference plans above the abbreviated notice of resource area delineation are accurately drawn for the following areas bordering vegetative wetlands for 81 Park Street and the ANRAD.
do we need the ANRAD number on this, or no? On the motion?
No.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Rick, is somebody gonna pick that up tomorrow, or, okay, good. You're saving the town postage for certified mail, and we appreciate that.
Okay, the next one is 84 Cleveland Street. Owen, I think you're the man up.
Thank you. Owen Kelly from Lakeland Farms, LLC. I'm here to present a modification of the subdivision plan. We finalized the septic system with the Board of Health and came up with a revised plan. I've got a couple full-size copies of it here to present to the board.
Okay.
And then I'll reference them.
Thank you.
This is a copy of the existing plan here. Which Amy might have. And then I have 3 copies of the new plan here, including one that's highlighted. There you go. And,
That's what the changes?
that's what the changes, yep.
Okay. Here, if we-
Here, you want, look at the highlighted.
Okay.
Thanks.
No, actually, if you just go to the regular and normal plan, they're so, well, in our opinion, minor, that I'll be able to point them out on there. Oh, that's the one for, that's perfect, it's the full set, the new set. Okay. If you could go to C4. That's the one I printed out here. 4 actually is a little clearer. Let's see. All right, thanks. It shows the septic system a little more clearly. Okay. Yes, I can. Okay. So the change that was made, there was originally a set of parking spaces on top of the septic system here. You have the septic tank. Those were moved, split up, most up here, and then one spot added to this parking section in the back there. The septic tank area itself is the same size. Instead of being in an elevated state, it is now lower, and the wall was moved forward towards the road. That was the change.
Janet? Any comments?
Can I have my plan?
Yes, you may.
All right, so thank you for, now the pressure's on me. I'm sorry, so what happened with this, the back area?
So there were 6 parking spaces that used to be located over the septic tank here. 5 of them were relocated to the front,
Okay.
and 1 was added to the back here and just stretched out.
So the whole thing is still in that whole layout that first came through? Okay. That was, and I understand, you know, you come to one commission, board, or whatever, and this is what they say, and they say, and they say. So once you get to the end, sometimes we forget to, so just for verification, and now it's part of the record for, this was the plan we accepted and we're referencing, here's the changes, there's no additional impacts to the resource areas, which you're gonna sleep better knowing that. And you got the erosion controls up on the side, and I appreciate that, and like I said, I'll take care of that, the building permits tomorrow.
Thank you.
God willing, that I'm back here tomorrow. So. Hmm?
Stay healthy till tomorrow.
And longer.
I know, I miss Publishers Clearinghouse, so, but I appreciate, but that way this too, this is part of the record, and this is, you know, for later on, if and when you ever finish the project, for, you know, getting the, you know, certificate of compliance, so thank you.
Okay.
Do we have to vote on it, or just
No, because this is just becoming part of the record now, so
Okay.
it's official, it's been through the meetings. This is
Final.
minor, it's within the area, the
Mhm.
scope of work that they were already talking about, so this can just show up at the end.
Okay.
And we're not gonna change anything else.
All right,
Good, thank you.
Thank you, Owen.
thank you.
Any audience questions?
Oh, I'm sorry, is there anybody in the audience?
Okay,
Well, since it wasn't a vote. Forgot about that.
well, but they might have questions.
Yes, yes.
Yay.
Okay, that's really the only public hearings that we have, and the action items. The next, we got the Algonquin gas notification, they're continuing, well, they're shutting everything off until the state regulates, the gas companies. Is there any, do you have any questions for us, or? You're all set? Okay, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
New business. With Tom leaving, we don't have a chairman. I'm acting chairman tonight. We have, I think, two options. One, we can discuss and vote for a new chairman tonight, or we can push it out a couple of months for whatever reason. So it's an open discussion at this point of what you want to do. If somebody who's interested in being chairman, if there is interest.
Am I correct in the understanding that John Weddleton will be back?
He'll be back, but he'll support whoever's chairman.
No, okay, but.
Yeah, he does,
Should
yeah.
he be involved in the
Um,
process?
The note he said was more of, if we want to vote tonight, we can. Yeah, we can wait until the next
Well,
meeting.
If he thinks he's gonna, be here in December, I think.
Yeah,
we'll-
I'll step back. The selectmen asked him if he would join us because, one, we're at a quorum right now of 4, and to bring a little bit of stability back to us at 5. We do need citizens of Norfolk to come before us and join us. We're looking for 2 more members, so if you're watching this program and you have interest in wetlands and controls, please stop into the Conservation Commission office in Town Hall. And that's why, yeah, I didn't know he wasn't coming until almost late this afternoon. But that's why I was thinking that it might be better to give everybody thought, and we can push it out into December, January, whatever. It's really not a pressing thing, but yeah, we do want to, I guess, put a chairman in place. So, your comments?
No, I think John coming back is more of a help, and I don't want to put too much of a burden on him,
No.
because I think he's chairman of planning, and I think he's coming back to help us,
Yes.
and we don't want to,
Oh, no, that
in a
wasn't
row,
my,
but,
that wasn't my point.
Just to
I
have
mean,
this
if-
vote and.
Yeah, just to
I
have
mean, if
him-
we have what we have now, I mean, David was the vice chair. If he wanted to be chairman, I'm fine with that. If he doesn't, I'd be fine taking the role as chairman also. If you want to do it, Bruce, I mean, it's up to whomever wants to do whatever. I'm just saying, if there's,
Do you have, either of you have interest in being chairman?
No, not necessarily, but I think it's something that should be up for discussion.
yeah. So I think it's good, wait another month, think about,
Yeah.
The options.
yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it's, I mean, the only thing I think is good about moving on the chairman, it's not so much to make a hasty decision, but we then have 2 positions. So if right now, if David were sick, we're
Right.
short a member.
Right.
But also we don't, I don't know how the progression moves without either one, so.
I'm staying next to Janet so I don't get sick.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, why don't we put it on the agenda for next month for chairman vote?
Because John was, when he stepped down, had asked some people who had been on the board to come by and join for a little bit, basically doing what he's
Doing.
volunteering to do now.
Yeah.
To kind of add some stability and some, past experience. Board.
Well, yeah, definitely the past experience, but,
Yeah.
Also a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we deal with, buffers?
We try to keep them, so. But that's, I mean, right now, if, whatever, someone's sick or, whatever,
Right.
then you have three, we can't.
Yeah, but now with John, we'll have the
Right.
four.
But that's it, we
Yeah.
can't per se hold the meeting, but then we're here all night apologizing to everyone and continuing
Yeah.
into the next meeting,
So we should be in good shape, I think, to
Right.
to
Yeah, the other
December.
thing too is, we have something, for example, like what we saw this last one tonight, 84 Cleveland Street, there's 4 of us here now. In order to continue to have, if they show up 2 or 3 more times, we have to have the same 4 people at all 3 meetings. Or we then have the issue where we have with the other notice of intent,
Yeah.
that they have to refile.
For 84 Cleveland?
No, the
No,
other
no,
one.
just
No,
as
that's
an
a different
example.
one.
in general,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if we had the full, I mean, the perfect thing is to have 7, that way at least, there's 4 continuous ones for that amount of time.
Yeah,
Okay,
food for thought.
yep. All right, let's continue that in discussions to December. Old business, does anybody have any old business?
Lions Club. We,
Yes,
they were in, they would like a list. of
they would,
some-
would they?
They would, yes.
We appreciate that, and we're working on that.
We'll put a list, yeah. we'll
They
together
needed a
with-
list of trails or whatever
Yeah.
Yeah.
we thought that we could help them with.
And they have the understanding that they've got to state which one they were picking, and we give them approval for it. I mean, you can say, okay, go ahead.
Just so we know where they're working
Where-
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that too, and I don't know enough about the trails for which ones are town property, which ones are private property,
Yeah.
which ones are,
Yeah.
we'll
Well,
let
we
you
know
use our.
some of them, but not all of them. But, yeah, we'll put an A list and a B list, A being the ones we know, and B being the town ones that are the iffy ones.
Did they go to DPW to see if there was any projects that,
I haven't personally
Yeah.
heard back from them.
I have one piece of business from the CPC, which I'm the rep for the commission on. They are talking to A&K Realty for the piece of land that is behind Campbell Forest and between Main Street and North Street. There's a nice piece of land. There are some issues that are being dealt with, and a letter was being written to our contact to make sure that 7 families, I think, have to sign off on it.
All butters.
No, owners
Oh, okay.
of A&K Realty, because A&K Realty doesn't exist anymore, and so these are the children of. And so there's like 5 on one side, 2 on the other. Verbally, it's like, yeah, everybody's agreeing, but at our meeting, somebody was there and her mother didn't know what was going on, so we said, okay, we'll write a letter, and we want signatures from all 7 parties before we go further. And the other thing that CPC is looking at is the rail trail in Pondville, the old bridge that was taken down on 115. If going out of town on the left, it's just over a quarter, maybe it's third of a mile or so. It's for sale, and so we're trying to get somebody to appraise it for us accurately, but there's problems with some of it's zoned for commercial and some is residential. But there's 2 pieces of property, and it may be good to have it as a park or something, a nice little walkway. And what we're talking about is if we do that, we've got to take it then from the other side of the road to Rentham, and from on Hill Street where there's the road, take it from there all the way into Walpole, which goes behind Southwood and stuff. So it's great possibilities, and Walpole is already talking about extending their rail trail and stuff like that. So it could be a nice recreational thing. And what the Pondville residents say, they don't have anything. So they're looking at it, but it's a slow thing. If both of these are spring warrant articles, if at the earliest. So
Would you, Amy, be able to put something on the Facebook community page in Norfolk asking for 2 commission members, that we have 2 opens?
I'll write something up and send it over to you so you can put it on the Facebook. And then we can send it over to cable too.
Yeah, I think we can do a press release in the Sun Chronicle
Yeah,
as well for no charge.
okay. That would be good. Our next meeting is December 12th, and then it's January 9th, 2019. If there's no other discussions or open items, we'll vote to close the meeting.
Make a motion to close the meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's passed. This meeting is now closed.